So the New York Giants, their words are, we love Daniel Jones. He is the future. You should see him at practice. It's like Johnny Unitas meets Peyton Manning. He's amazing. Those are their words. What are the New York Giants' actions? Conservative play calling. They don't trust Daniel Jones. I mean, two guys for the Giants were making plays last night. Daniel Jones and Sterling Shepard. That was it. And yet, late in the game, they couldn't run the football. What do? Give it to Saquon Barkley twice. Can't run it. Then on third down, all right, Daniel, save us. A timeout. You're late in the game. Throw the ball. The Giants last night are telling you deep down in critical situations, run the football. Saquon Barkley had one big run all night. Giants couldn't run the football. Two guys made plays all night. Daniel Jones, Sterling Shepard. What are you doing? Daniel Jones threw the ball 14 times fewer than Taylor Heineke. Now, I want you to think about that for a second. Taylor Heineke was in his third career start. He's a backup. He has a defensive coach. Defensive coach, you know how they are. They love to win with defense. Mike Tomlin loved how the Steelers won last week. He loved it. Loved it. Pete Carroll has Russell Wilson. All right, run the football. Run. Ron Rivera wants to run the football. And their backup quarterback with 3 starts threw the ball 14 times more than Daniel Jones did. And Daniel Jones has a good receiving core. And Daniel Jones didn't last night have any running game. I mean, listen, he's 6'5". He's 220. Joey and I were talking about before the show. He's a big athlete. They're big. I mean, Daniel Jones, 6'5". I'm tall. Every room I walk into, I'm one of the tallest people. He's significantly bigger and taller than I am, and he runs fast. Cut it loose. Let him go. Let him play. I mean, think about this. The Washington football team has a converted wide receiver playing running back. Their tight end is a converted quarterback. Their backup quarterback is starting, and they were letting it loose last night. They were taking big chunks, big passes. Taylor, win the game for us. What are you doing? You got Kenny Golladay, Slayton, Shepard. I want to see 40 passes from Daniel Jones. Minimum. 40. I want to see more of these reads that he runs. He's pretty good at, pretty effective. I want to see more of those. 7, 8 a game. He's one of your playmakers. But you keep telling me how you love him. You're not showing me that you love him. That drive late in the game, you could run the football all night. Put the ball in the hands of your 6'5", 220-pound quarterback who can run. So, yeah, I watched the Giants, and what do we know about the Giants? Head coach, I'm not sure. GM, I'm not sure. O-line, I hate. Kenny Golladay, yelling at people. Defensive personnel, not as good as I thought. Saquon Barkley's health, cross your fingers. So you don't really know what you are. So let's at least figure out Daniel Jones. So when the draft comes in April, and there's 4 or 5 quarterbacks out there, and you've got the 11th pick or the 9th pick, you know exactly what you need to do with it. Because when I look at the New York Giants right now, I don't know what they are. So let's try to decide and figure out what we are at the most important position. He's got 27 starts. Taylor Heineke's got 3. And Washington's got a defensive coach and a better running game, and they let him throw it. So I talk. Everybody's talking. What are you doing? I watched that team. Now, by the way, I don't know if it's going to work. The Giants are historically a conservative franchise, the accounting firm of the NFL. So they'll give him a 3rd year, my guess is. But he's lost now 6 straight primetime games to open his career, and their 7th is Kansas City. So, what you're seeing, maybe it's just because what I'm seeing on national TV doesn't work for me. But what I really saw last night is a highly reluctant coaching staff with Daniel Jones in now his 27-28 start. All right, so let me shift to this. At this point, Tom Brady is sort of screwing with us. So he was talking this week, and I'm done doubting Tom Brady, but he was talking this week about, keep playing and keep playing and keep playing. And here's Tom Brady.
Wow. Seems to be a really hot question lately. Can Tom Brady play till 50? Like 50 years old? Yeah. I don't find it so difficult. And plus, in the Florida, it's kind of a retiree state, so I feel like I can play and then just glide into retirement. I think I can. I think it's a yes.
Oh, boy. You know, I was thinking about this. You ever see those magazines? You see this constantly. 7 tips to retire early. 12 things to guarantee you can retire early. You always see Money Magazine or Barron's or the Wall Street Journal. You go online, and it's always, here are the 9 ways to ensure you have a safe retirement. Let me give you 2. Spend less than you make, and then dollar cost average for 25 years. That means every month you put the same amount away, and you don't think about it, and that's it. That would be my magazine. My magazine would go out of business. It would be 2 tips to retire early, and I would just write spend less than you make, and then dollar cost average, which I've been doing since 1988. Just put the same amount a month every way, and then I just don't worry about it, and I live my life. That's it. I don't have a 3rd tip. And I think about this in the NFL. Tom Brady. How to last as long as Tom Brady? It's really not complicated. It really isn't. Here's 2 steps. Don't be reckless and get hit a lot. All right, that's real big. And don't take the most money, allowing for a better offensive line and more help. That's it. Tom Brady this year is 5.6% of his team's cap hit. Because when you take less money, you can have a better offensive line, and you can retain your center. Aaron Rodgers lost his Pro Bowl center this year. Why? Because he's close to a 15% cap hit. Tom Brady now has a better center. Tom Brady can get another receiver, Antonio Brown, wedged into this roster, along with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. Why? Because he's a 5.6% cap hit. I mean, Russell Wilson, I want a better offensive line. Well, you're a 17% cap hit. It's not that crazy. Don't play reckless. Sam Darnold, love him, plays reckless. Ben played reckless. Cam played reckless. Andrew Luck, loved him, was reckless. Lamar Jackson, for my taste, a little too reckless. Learn to slide. So don't be reckless. By the way, Tom's also not reckless with his diet, his off-season conditioning. He practices how to get sacked and then just take less than max money. And I know. Easy for me to say. He's got a supermodel wife. Tom has been taking pay cuts for years. He's still been paid more by $30 million than any player in league history. Why? Because he lasts longer. Why? Because he has better surrounding parts. Everybody says they're committed to this stuff. Tom's truly committed. He practices getting sacked, and he takes pay cuts. It's not different. You know, the other day I was thinking about this, is that I've had people in my life say, hey, you work very hard. And I'm like, I don't work that hard. I think I'm efficient with my time. I don't think I work that hard. I mean, I'm off at noon. I'm playing tennis at 1. I don't work that hard. And I say to everybody, your phone tells you how many hours a day you use it. What is yours, 4, 5, 6 hours? You're on your phone too much. Think about what you could do. You sleep 8, you work 8. That's 16 hours, right? You have 8 hours. You know how many things you can do over the course of a day in 8 hours? I mean, it takes me, let's say I do sleep 8, work 8, eat for an hour. I don't think I'd eat for an hour, but I'll get an hour. Listen to music. I listen to music or read 2 hours a day. I work out for an hour a day. There's another one. 1, 2, 3. I still have 5 hours left. Tom Brady just does a better job of taking advantage of the time available. He's just not a time waster. It's not like he works all day. Every time I see one of these goofy things, he's always out having fun with Gronk. And so, retirement, 2 steps. Last a long time in this league. Don't be reckless. And if you're a quarterback, don't take the max money. Most of these guys should last far longer than they have. Cam's 32. He looks shot. Ben, I watched him in week 1. Looks like a 50-year-old man. Sam Darnold missed long stretches of his season. He's just a kid. He should be the healthiest he's ever been. Andrew Luck's out of the game. Most of this stuff in life is not that complicated. Spend less than you make and dollar cost average. That's it. You can have 13 steps in Money Magazine. None of them really matter. Just don't buy Bentleys if you can't afford them. It's not that difficult. Not that crazy. By the way, Brady also does something that's really important. And I think this, if you want to last in a hard career, and I think football's hard, especially NFL football, even if you're winning, it's hard. Brady also has a component that I think is really important. It almost goes without saying, you got to love what you do.
Good luck. Good luck. It's tough, but it's up to them. Yeah, if you do the right stuff, you got a shot. But I see a lot of people not do the right stuff.